is something very far from what I'm accustomed to doing. I'm accustomed to being at nightclubs with drunk people and telling them jokes, you know. And sometimes there'll be truth in those jokes, but they're still jokes. So today, you guys are going to see a different side of me. I'm sorry, everybody. But no, you guys, I'm talking to you guys like I talk to any adult, because now you crossing into the realm of young adulthood. And before I say anything, I gotta let you know the truth of the situation, which is I'm not that far ahead of you. So I'm not preaching at you, because there's a lot of things that I'm talking about that I'm still trying to work out, especially with today's subject, leadership beyond mediocrity. There's a lot of pressure. If you look at the pictures on the program, 2 out of the 3 leaders are dead. They were good leaders too. But I think when people talk about leadership, I mean, those people are appropriate because you see the sacrifice they made was the ultimate sacrifice. Paid with their lives. Nobody who knows anything about leadership is going to want to be a leader. Snakes. Look at Bush. Getting old, all this pressure. Every time something goes wrong, everyone says how bad he sucks. How would you feel if you woke up this morning and someone had taken a poll and 80% of people in your school said he sucks? That's the easy part of leadership. Because when people hear about me, especially in the last couple of years, it's always about how I walked away from that show. I know people wondering why I walked away from that show. You say, hell yeah, you wonder? Well, listen, Oprah couldn't even get it out. She tried. She put a lot of pressure on me. But today I'm going to try to help you understand. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I did it, so that you guys can take this information and apply it to your own lives. But basically, you got to know how I started out. You know, I was sitting around one night with a bunch of comedians, and we were talking about what we did before we were comedians. And all these comedians have done a bunch of stuff. One guy was a doctor, decided he wanted to be a comic. One guy was a lawyer, quit law to be a comic. Another guy was on Wall Street, he quit Wall Street. One guy played pro baseball, stopped playing baseball because he wanted to be a comedian. And they said, Dave, what did you do before you was a comedian? And I told them I was an 8th grader. That's all I'd ever done. Like, before I was doing this, I was just a kid in school. I started doing comedy, and it's like anything in life, when you get on the right path, it just kind of takes a life of its own. It wasn't like I was pushing it, it was like it was pulling me. I started out in D.C. during the crack epidemic. 1987, everybody in D.C. was selling crack or smoking crack, even the mayor. It was like the #1 after-school job. My freshman year in high school, 555 high school-age kids were murdered in Washington, D.C. Brown kids like you. 555 kids. These were Iraq numbers. In Washington, D.C. There wasn't no major public outcry. It wasn't like the national news was saying what's happening to our children. They were just murdered. That was it. And whenever you would hear about someone being murdered, at the end of it, they would say, it drug related, as if they were saying, it doesn't